going on, guys? Trey coming back at your screen by means of the World Wide Web, and I just wanted to get into the prize highlights for the Body Electric Mob Raid event. So first, let's start with our leaderboard legendary here, Nabu-belsham. I personally ain't feeling his look too much. I think he's kind of ugly, but that is besides the point. This guy is a lightning warlock, so the heightened attack, heightened wisdom is going to be there for sure. HP not so much. Pretty decent agility, and defense not so much. So to get into the raw stats here, you can see him here: 4950 HP, 11,518 attack, 2519 defense, 10,940 wisdom, and 3334 agility. Fish fry all elite, new skill, all targets, hits everyone. Wisdom base with a cooldown of 1. Eels do it and raise 2, but true bolts come from the blue. So overall, I think this is a pretty decent fighter, pretty much like the legendary warlocks that we've been getting off the leaderboard the past few events. Really the main difference between this one and some of the older ones, besides the one from our previous event, would be the cooldown. A lot of the older ones have a cooldown of 2. This one has a cooldown of 1, guys. So that one less cooldown definitely makes a much bigger difference. For sure, that's one less turn you gotta wait to unleash that all target skill and do some serious damage. So this guy's pretty nice. I also like his skill, that fish fry. I think that's a really sick skill personally. I found it pretty hilarious the first time I saw it. I think it's pretty nice. So on Nabu-belsham, comparing it to the warlocks that we've been seeing as leaderboard legendaries recently, I don't think this guy's too bad. Moving on to our next one here, we have Nilofar. So this is our, I guess you could call her our scientist for this event. Pretty decent look, big robot looking thing on her back. So to get down to her, she is an air guru. I'm pretty certain of that. To get down to her stats off of the edge, she has 3863 HP, 503 attack, 1371 defense, 7856 wisdom, and 2618 agility, for a total stat base of 16,211. So to talk about this one, guys, she's another one of the gurus with high HP, low agility, but she also has a ton of wisdom for certain. New skill here that we've never heard of on an epic fighter, Hurley Burrow All Adept. 1 cooldown, have absolutely no idea what statistic it is based off of. I would think if it is going to be based off a certain stat, it would be wisdom, but we have yet to know anything about it, guys, because we just don't know yet. We have to get someone to get it epic. I'm not certain if a rare version has it. I don't think it does. So we have to wait till someone saves up enough of them in order to form an epic and get some research done on it, because I don't even have no idea what the skill even does. Sounds like it could possibly be a siphon all skill or something of that sort, but we're just not going to know much of anything until we get some research done, guys. So everything's up in the air about her skill until we can further research it, get some people to grab it and use it and break it apart. So she's kind of a mystery for now, guys, but if anything, you can at least use her for wisdom superfuse fodder, which if you do, you will get 942, which is pretty impressive. That's going to be some premium wisdom fodder right there. So you can expect her price to be looking pretty nice just because of that simple fact. Alright, moving on to our next fighter, we have Otopras. Big lab rat here, which is basically what he looks like to me. So to get into it, this guy's an air rogue, I believe. So to get into his stats off of the edge, he has 2948 HP. He has 4485 attack, 1533 defense, 924 wisdom, and 4650 agility, with a total stat base of 14,540. So this guy's going to be one of the preamps that people prefer. A lot of people are against the fast and weak preamps. They like these pretty balanced ones that pretty much have around the same attack as well as the same agility. So this one will be a preferred single target preamp for you guys. Preamp Elite Auto Proc, attack based of course. So I definitely like single target preamps myself. So this guy would not be a bad choice either, because he's actually not that bad considering the other single target preamps that we've been getting lately that is of this style. Pretty above average attack and agility. This guy's actually pretty decent, guys. So if you need a single target preamp, this guy's going to be a points prize, a primacy prize rather. So there should be quite a few of them around after the event's over. You can do some trading to get this guy. He's actually well worth it, I would think. And then last but not least, we have our Paragon here, Texel the Jinn. So this guy's made from 3 different beings or something of that sort. So he got some Xana in him, some Exo in him, all kinds of stuff. I don't know the whole background of him, but there's a lot to him. But to break this guy down, Texel the Jinn is a lightning warlock. So to get into his stats, he has 4249 HP off the edge, of course, 5354 attack, 1406 defense, 4883 wisdom, and 933 agility. New skill here, Engine Elite. I'm not certain myself, but I'm pretty sure it's a single target skill. When machine meets man, the result is bad magic, nuts to bolts. So it's a wisdom based skill with a cooldown of 1. So every other turn he will be using his cooldown skill. But he has some pretty nice attack, 53, 54. So in between using that skill, he can still do a significant amount of damage, guys. So this guy is actually a pretty decent Paragon. And his look is alright too. Little Exo in him, got him looking a little robotic and whatnot. But this guy's pretty decent. Take a quick look at his skill here. Shoots his little gun off like that there. So that's what we get from Texel the Jinn, guys. So now that we've looked at our prize highlights, let's go do a few comparisons for you guys here. So the first one we're going to be comparing is our leaderboard legendary, nabu-belsham, I think his name is. And the one we're going to be comparing him to is a very recent legendary we had, but he was a paid build legendary. Izanagi Illflame. So both of these guys are actually lightning warlocks. Both of them have an all skill that is based off of wisdom. And they both have a cooldown of 2-1. So basically the only difference between them is going to be the stats at this point. And statistically the better fighter is nabu-belsham. Now Izanagi Illflame, his Starcross All Elite skill has a weird multiplier that kind of fluctuates. But we don't really know much about nabu-belsham's multiplier. So if Illflame here ends up having a better multiplier, you probably would be better off just staying with him, considering the fact that there's not much of a difference in the stats. Nabu-belsham is better statistically in every category. He has 184 more HP, 426 more attack, 95 more defense, 406 more wisdom, and 125 more agility. So statistically the big fish is better. But like I stated before, if his multiplier is not up to snuff, then you would probably be better off keeping Izanagi Illflame, guys, if you are using him. So that's our comparison for him. Next we usually compare Nilafar, but like I said, I'm sure we can compare her to someone statistically, but I like to compare fighters overall, guys, and we really don't know much about her skill or anything like that to really be able to compare to anything. So we're going to wait and see what research gets done on her. Maybe we'll be able to compare her to something a little later down the line. So the next fighter we are going to be comparing is Autocross. And the fighter we're going to be comparing him to is going to be our man right here, Silic, who is actually the invite ID for this event, which is surprising as all get out because he's a really good. I think he's actually the best single target preamp out at this point. So comparing Autocross to Silic, Autocross is an air rogue, Silic is a fire rogue, so a difference of element there. But other than that, there's not really too much of a difference. They're both single target preamps, elite multiplier, auto proc, both of them. So the really only main difference between them besides element would be statistics, guys. And Silic here is knocking Autocross off in every single category. 183 more HP, 275 more attack, 92 more defense, 55 more wisdom, and 283 more agility for a total stat difference of 888. So I don't think it's nothing too significant. The thing is, Silic came out before Autocross, so if you already have Silic, there's really no need to bother with Autocross unless you're trying to complete a whole single target pre-up line. If that's what you're aiming for, then by all means get Autocross. He is actually a pretty decent single target preamp. But if you already have a whole line of single target preamps, or you just don't have a use for any more of them, just hang on to Silic. He is the better fighter, not by a whole lot, but he is the better fighter, guys. So you can stick with him if you already have him. Last but not least, we'll be comparing our Paragon for this event, Jet Sam the Gen. And a good comparison that I found for Jet Sam the Gen is going to be actually a Paragon we had not too long ago, Shimano Score Settler here. So to get into the similarities, just about everything on these fighters are similar, guys. The main difference is actually going to be the element. That's really, honestly, the hugest difference between these two fighters. Jet Sam is lightning, Shimano here is water. Other than that, they both have a single target skill with a cooldown of 1 that is wisdom based. We don't know the multiplier difference yet, if there is one, because this event just started. We still got research going on what the multiplier is going to be like for our buddy Jet Sam here. So honestly, guys, the difference between these fighters is very minute. Statistically, Shimano Score Settler is the better fighter, surprisingly. No power creep this time around. So to get into the stats, Shimano has 9 more HP, 14 more attack, a whopping 3 more defense, 14 more wisdom, and 3 more agility for a total stat difference of 43. Yeah, buddy. So basically these fighters are extremely similar, besides the element and possibly the multiplier after the research is done. So if you got Shimano, you may not have to worry about upgrading the Jet Sam unless you want a lightning warlock instead of maybe a water warlock, or maybe you can add them to a warlock band or a team that you may want to use in lightning dungeon or anything of that sort. Whatever you want to do with them, but just know that these two fighters are extremely similar. So if you got a Score Settler, there's very few reasons why you want to have a Jet Sam besides this event, of course. Of course you want the Paragon in this event in order to compete if you want to, or in order to be able to beat up the bigger, more point-worthy fighters in between the Shinker Scorpions. You're going to want the Paragon for that. So there we have it, guys. One more thing before I forget, there is, I probably already have all the achievements. Oh, this guy. We do have a hidden fighter here, Sisu Thrust. He's basically a recolor of an older emulator we had back in the day. So don't know too much about him yet. We're gonna have to wait till the many people get the achievement and things of that sort before we can get more going on this guy. But maybe we'll be able to talk about him a little bit more later down the line. We'll see what happens. But that is going to be it for the prize highlights for this video, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please continue to like, subscribe, favorite, share, comment, and everything else. And of course, I will be back at you guys with more DOT soon. Later, guys.